Well guys, you can tell from the video, we're headed to our next demo day. It's actually held by RGV Cycles once again. And we're gonna have a chance to try out the Indian motorcycles this time. Now, I haven't had a lot of opportunity to try out a lot of cruisers, but you remember the last video that we had, it was all Triumph motorcycles. And they were all like, you know, nakeds or sport tourings. Like the Speed 400, the T100, and then the Tiger Sport 660. But this time we're gonna try nothing but, I can't say nothing but, because there's one in particular bike that we've been wanting to try for BMW. And that's actually the bike that I did my MSF course on, which is the G310R. If they have it there and if it's available to demo, I'm definitely gonna try it out because I really wanna try it on the street as in compared to my SV650, which by the way, it's been an amazing motorcycle. It's gotten me through a lot of trips so far. I mean, I've already hit 1,000 miles on it. So right now, it's actually a straight shot to the demo day on the expressway headed that way. We're in La Feria right now, and it's in San Juan. It's about a 20-minute ride. We stopped because, well, we need to mount up everything to record. I don't have extra batteries on the DJI Osmo Action 4, so I'm gonna be shooting in 1080, 60 FPS. And that's why I didn't record anything from the ride over here to La Feria. So now we're just gonna do a straight shot over there and talk about the comparison of this bike and see the comparisons of all the Indian motorcycles we're gonna try out. So, shall we go get on? What? What the hell was that? Shall we get going? All right, let's load up. Helmet's on nice. All right, let's get going now. It's getting pretty hot. Get some air moving. Kickstands up. Yep, let's go. I'm loving this Federico 2 mesh jacket. It's a little bit stiffer than my Techno 3 from Built, but I think that's kind of the point. You know, this is a lot stronger armor. It's also AX2 rated armor. We should be getting there like at around 12:30, 12:45. The event lasts all the way up until 4. This is actually a good opportunity to help me stay calm during the rides. As you can tell right now, I'm actually not talking too loud or too aggressive. The last video that I recorded, y'all heard it was pretty aggressive. Thought that was a snake for a second. It's a belt. We should have been in 5th gear for that. No, we can't yet. It's still blocked off. There's a car to our left in the fast lane. Now we can go. That is a nice Mustang. Look at that. I think it's a Shelby Cobra. Alright, so we're here on the highway headed to the demo day in San Juan. RGV Cycles, that's known for their Indian Polaris slingshots and BMW motorcycles. You saw on the last demo day we had, they actually had a bunch of Triumphs, but unfortunately they're not selling Triumphs anymore. Something having to do a problem with their sister dealership in Houston, which is a shame really, because I really was hoping to get the Tiger Sport 800 as my next bike, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Considering all the amount of like touring that I've been doing on the SV650, I think that's where I'm headed. Either that or a cruiser. But that's actually why we're headed this way, so that way we can test out the other cruisers and see the difference between the SV650, between a V-twin naked and a V-twin cruiser. Wind isn't too bad. Speaking of wind, if you're on the SV, if you're on a naked bike, obviously you're gonna feel every single aspect of the wind. I've kind of gotten used to it, but I know the last video I did with the group ride, I actually ended up having to stop at a motel because I could not ride all the way back. I was just exhausted. I had a bit of a panic attack on the highway. So we got off and we ended up going to a motel. Yeah, it was not a fun time for me. It was a great day that ended poorly. But as far as wind goes, this one gets blown around pretty bad. I know I have to do a lot of leaning to compensate for the fact that I'm being brushed around. Just to be able to go straight, it looks like I'm turning, but in reality, I'm going straight at an angle. It's scary, but kind of fun too. But isn't that the point of motorcycles? To be scary and fun at the same time. That adrenaline rush. That's why we ride them. So having this SV650 for about two months now, because I got it back in February. It's going to be 3 on the 10th in May. I've loved it. This is a great beginner bike for me, considering the route that I took in order to get my motorcycle. You know, everything that I needed to do. It's, you know, it's adequate power. You know, it does exactly what I needed to do. It is a great all-around bike. Now I can see why it's been, you know, hasn't been updated for the past 20 years or so. I mean, if it ain't broke, you know, don't fix it. Where everybody said that it lacked was the suspension, and I see what they mean. You know, taking bumps, taking potholes and all that, you definitely feel everything, especially when it comes to railroad tracks. But as far as power goes, I mean, I'm doing, you know, 80 miles an hour right now in 6th gear, doing fine. I have no problem keeping up with highway traffic. I still got plenty of passing power. I mean, watch. We'll let it open, we can easily get to 100, but we don't need to right now. It does get very vibrating in the pegs and in the handlebars. After a while, that's not going to be, you know, as tolerable as you think. I mean, the whole point of riding is to be comfortable. Unless you're one of those enduro guys that, you know, does this for a living and has the endurance to do so. Me, I don't. I'm pudgy. I'm not built for all day riding. That's exactly what I mean by the suspension. I definitely felt that. And there's no way in hell that we can stand up right now. This is let's drop a gear and get some passing power. See, look at that. No problem whatsoever. I really hope the wind isn't as bad as it sounds right now. Is it peaking right now? I can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell right now. I really should have put the wind muff on, but I did not want to have a bunch of fuzziness inside my mouth right now. No cars behind us, we're good to go right now. So we've got West Loco, Donna, and then Alamo, and then San Juan. Which that is a straight shot over here. We took La Feria because going on the expressway for that long, it's going to tire us out big time. And then for us to ride more motorcycles all day. Going back to what I like about the SV650, it's not too tall. It's got a relatively comfortable seat for riding, you know, for hours. I mean, the most I rode was about 3 hours. And I think it was on like the 2.5 mark that my lower back started really hurting. As you can see, I'm carrying a backpack now, but that's when it really starts to hurt. If I don't have a backpack on, I can go a lot longer. But after 3 hours, that's when my lower back and my butt really start to, you know, notice some pain. Foot position is very relaxed. It's a very upright sitting position. Definitely could use a windscreen. How well that's going to buffet the wind, I don't know, because wind is a given. But it's got a good center of gravity. I know cruisers are a lot lower. That's what I'm hoping to see about the learning curve when it comes to cruisers. Not to mention forward pegs. But the new Scout 60 for 2025, it actually has mid-mounted controls, which is why I thought it would be a good competition or direct competition for the Honda Rebel 1100, because they make about an equal amount of horsepower. I know the Rebel has just a little bit more output. I guess who that was, some Hardy brother. But yeah, seeing as how Indian is trying to compete with Honda when it comes to, you know, introducing new riders. Well, as far as new riders go, they have the Rebel 500, which is really for somebody who's barely getting a riding season in. Whereas Indian, they say that their Scout 60 is the introduction of cruiser motorcycles. Then again, I'm not part of any R&D team, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Well, somewhat. That's just, take my opinions with a grain of salt, mind you. 82 miles an hour constantly on the highway It feels great. The bike's planted. I got no problems with this. You know, but like I said, after a long ride, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna want to stop for a while. You're gonna want to actually sleep after a good long ride. I am noticing, since I'm a bit on the tall side, I mean, I'm 5'10" with a 32-inch inseam, just like another YouTuber we all know and love, Chase on 2 wheels. 5'10", 5'9" when I'm not feeling confident. And, you know, it feels great. I mean, I am not disappointed with this bike at all. I am very glad that I went with this. I plan to keep this one for a long time. Oh, 911! Woo! That is a nice Porsche. I'm pretty sure it's headed to the same place we're going, because right next to RGV Cycles is a Porsche dealership. Let's back off a bit. Let's give it a break. Let's get in the slow lane. Until we need to look at all that traffic that's coming. Let's slow down a bit. We got no traffic behind us, which is good. Or speed up a bit. Get ahead of this trailer that's going up. Getting uphill is no problem for this bike either. It's plenty torquey. Where the power is delivered within the rev range, it's definitely at the lower, considering this is a V-twin. But it's got no problem, you know, middle or higher in the RPMs to get up and go. We're doing almost 6,000 right now, easily cruising with at highway speeds. I know I'm repeating myself here, but I cannot emphasize this enough on how well, you know, how well it's planted, how well of an established motorcycle this is. We should begin there about 12:45. That'll give us time to rest up, and then we'll probably, you know, go on another ride at 1, if they have one, because they do them in intervals, obviously. But which one are we going to do first? Are we going to do the Scout, the Scout 60, the Super Scout, a Chieftain, if they have them there? Or I am definitely not getting on any of the Pursuits. I am not ready for that big of a touring bike. I'll stick with the beginner cruisers, if you can even call it that. That weigh almost 500 pounds. Or something like this weighs less than 500, about the 430, 440 range curb weight, or when wet. Actually getting kind of hot right now. Moving on to the Federico 2 mesh jacket. This has plenty of airflow to keep you cool within these like late spring and early summer months. I'm doing, you know, just fine. I feel all the air flowing. I was gonna get the pants, but I need to drop a few pounds first. I don't know the biggest they have, but I tried a XL. It fit great around the legs, but around the waist, when I was in the riding position, it hurt. Circulation was being cut off because I really need to lose the rear belly. A Walmart over there. Hopefully when we look back at this footage, it's gonna sound good. SV650 is handling it, no problem. Maybe I'll make this into a touring bike. The biggest trip I plan to take is to South Padre Island or Port Isabel, you know. Go to the lighthouse, go to the beach. That's not until I get more experience for sure. Going back to the demo day, the last one that I went to, which was my first one, does that count as a group ride, considering it wasn't even my own motorcycle? You know, kind of a loner. I did learn a few things, that's for sure. And actually haven't gone on my first group ride. I learned don't try to keep up with the pack leaders. I don't even know why I was in the front to begin with. Oh man, I'm so excited. Man, ever since getting the bike, I've been just like a completely different person. I've been just, oh my god, it's those who ride, you know exactly the kind of feeling that I'm talking about. It's an amazing one. And somebody like me who's been a real homebody, who's never really gone out, it's like my last video said, it's surreal, you know? I'm a completely different person. There's our exit. Hey, it didn't happen this time. This is it. We made it. Good thing too, I was getting kind of tired. Getting a little lightheaded. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, RGV Cycles for our next demo day. Yoo-hoo! Oh man, this is gonna be a good day. We made it. We are here. Now you get some good rest. You good? Understand that, baby? You get some good rest. What up, bud?
What's up, man?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I bet you heard the news.
Huh?
You heard the news.
Oh, yes, yes.
Steal the bike. Ken, we gotta sell these bikes.
Any bike, it's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna find a horse, Mitchell.